Welcome to the Moraine Historical Minute. Hi, I am Dave Miller with the City Moraine. Moraine is rich in history, and today we look at one of our 15 Moraine historical markers, Zion Memorial Church. In 1820, with government-free land policies encouraging homesteading, the frontier was alive with action. Southwest Ohio had fertile ground and was abundant with wildlife. More and more pioneers migrated to the Dayton area. Zion was the first church in Moraine and was named Zion Memorial United Church of Christ and Cemetery and established in 1820. This church is located at the corner of South Dixie Drive and Stroop Road and is one of the oldest churches in the entire greater Dayton area. The first congregation was composed of 12 people. The first church was a crude, U-log church built of pioneer taste and simplicity. The structure was 38 by 46 feet with a stone foundation, and it was about 40 feet from the Cincinnati Pike, a dirt road later named South Dixie Drive. The building stood 2 stories high with a gallery. Reached by stairs to either side, the pulpit stood against the east wall. Candles furnished light for it back then. And one of the Lutheran members built a pipe organ which provided music for everyone. So between 1820 and 1826, the first ministers were circuit riders on horseback who arrived disarrayed, filthy, and unkempt. They wore black hip-length coats, wide-brimmed hats, dirty shirts, and black strings for ties. But within a decade, a stagecoach line was established from Dayton to Cincinnati that ran right in front of the church. The Miami Erie Canal was built about a mile away 10 years later. And in 1843, members somewhat improved the log cabin building, covering the exterior with weatherboards, painting them, plastering the inside walls. And then more improvements. 17 years later, the congregation erected a 2-story brick building measuring 45 by 60 feet, costing a whopping $3,500 back then, including furniture. This building was dedicated in May of 1860, just before the Civil War. In the old days, when people came to church, they came for the entire day. In the summer, they packed lunch baskets, came in their wagons, and in the winter, came through the snow and the cold, bundled in large sleighs. In May 1886, and again in May 1933, believe it or not, the church survived tornado damage 2 times to the roof, steeple, and structure. Shortly after the May 1886 tornado, the Lutheran congregation decided to split from this Reformed church congregation, and they built a separate church across the road. Both congregations operated the cemetery jointly. And through the years, Zion Memorial was enlarged with additional rooms and additional parking areas. A stroll through the old cemetery is like a trip back in time, as many of the elaborate tombstones are the resting place of the area's original pioneers, landowners, and farmers. The Moraine Historical Marker is located between the church and the cemetery, facing South Dixie Drive. Well, that wraps up our quick look at Zion Memorial Church. Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Moraine Historical Minute.